The Hawaii election is just days away on November 2nd, and millions of dollars is being spent on advertising on TV, radio, and in print. So, are the Hawaii people paying attention to the issues and to the candidates? And if so, do they plan to vote? Let's find out. Do you know who's running for governor?
I do. Neil Abercrombie, and Neil is the one that I'm thinking of the most because I guess he has the most visibility.
What about lieutenant governor? Do you know who's running for lieutenant governor with Neil Abercrombie and Duke Aiona? Do you know who is running for governor?
Yes, Abercrombie and Iona.
And then who's running as lieutenant governor for each one of them?
Finnegan and Schatz, I believe.
Yep, A+ so far. What about constitutional amendments? Are you going to pay attention to that? Are you going to vote on that issue?
I haven't looked at that. I know they had it in the paper, but I haven't taken a look at that. I think the only one I was looking at was the Board of Education.
And what about that? Are you going to decide on your elected voices appointed, or you don't know yet?
I decided on that, definitely.
Okay. Do you know who's running for Congress?
Congress? No, I don't. Not for Congress.
Have you heard about on TV about Colleen Hanabusa and Charles Dejoux running for Congress?
I heard something where Hanabusa had supposedly done some misleading advertising.
Oh, okay.
So I did hear about that.
Okay. And are you familiar with Charles Dejoux?
Vaguely.
He's one of our congressmen right now, and he's going to be running against Colleen Hanabusa. What about the other running for governor? Do you know who's running for governor?
Duke Aiona, good man. Yeah, I like Duke Aiona.
And do you know who his opponent is?
His opponent is Neil Abercrombie.
And what about lieutenant governor? Have you paid attention to that in terms of who their running mates are?
No, I don't know who's running for lieutenant.
Do you know who's running for governor in the 2010 election?
I mean, Abercrombie and Iona.
And what about lieutenant governor?
We have Schatz, and I forget who he's running up against. There's more people, isn't there?
Lynn Finnegan.
Finnegan, yeah.
Yeah.
Iona Finnegan.
Yep. Okay, what about, there's going to be constitutional amendments to ask whether or not we should change our constitution. Have you paid attention to that? Do you know what those are?
Not a clue at all. I think the system is kind of maybe a little corrupt. There's a lot of things going on that we don't see, and they just be a front like a stage. So my opinion is very different from most people, I would think so.
That's okay. Should we have the school board become an appointed school board, the public education system, or we're going to leave it as a elected school board? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I think the system definitely needs changing. I think we should have more people from the ground roots, people like real teachers, real principals, and not just elected officials who maybe paid under the table or maybe have higher interest from other special interest groups. I think that'd be easier for real change that we need as opposed to just hiring somebody else.
So the other amendment would be whether or not the legislature has to return a surplus to the voters or whether they should keep it. And what are your thoughts on that? Should they have to return your money to you, or should they be able to keep it?
I think they should absolutely return it, and they should pay extra, like interest. If that's really my money and I'm giving it to you and you're charging me tax money, I think that's illegal. I think that's not right, and they should pay me interest for it, just like the bank.
Do you know who's running for governor?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell me?
Abercrombie and Duke Aiona.
Okay, A+ so far. We're just trying to see if all the billions of dollars in advertising is working, if people are paying attention. What about Congress?
For advertising working, I think we're wasting too much money on that, and we're killing our trees. I'm an environmentalist, so I don't think we should be doing that.
What about who's running for Congress? Have you been paying attention to that in your district?
I don't know if it's in Congress, but I know that, let me think. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank, and I should know who it is.
Do you know if you're in district? Do you know who's running for governor?
Of course. Yeah, I know who's running for governor, and I'm still undecided. I'm an independent, and could go either way. Now that Mufi's out of the center, you got the right or the left, so don't know yet.
What are your thoughts on the constitutional amendments coming up? Have you been paying attention to that?
Haven't really paid attention to it.
One of the questions is about your money. Should the legislature be able to keep your money or have to return it to you if there's a surplus? What do you think?
I think that's a long shot for that to ever happen. I think they shouldn't spend so much in the first place, but I'd rather have them keep a surplus so we don't end up in deficit situations.
What about the school board? Have you paid attention to the school board? Should it be appointed or should it be elected?
No, my kids are all graduated. I really haven't focused on that issue.
Do you know who's running for governor?
Abercrombie and McLean. I don't know the other guy's name, but
Iona, you're right.
yeah.
What about Lieutenant Governor?
I don't know. I don't really watch the news, so
Are you going to be registered? Are you registered to vote and you're going to vote?
I'm not registered right now, no.
So what about, how about, because there's a lot of advertising being on TV, have you been paying attention, and the radio, have you been paying attention to who's running for Congress?
Not really, no.
Do you ever hear of Colleen Hadabusa or Charles Dejoux?
Yeah, I heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would make you want to get involved with voting? Why did you choose not to vote this time?
I just never have time, busy, so
Busy and no time?
yeah. I fight too, so
You fight?
yeah, pro MMA.